This is News Hour. This is News Hour on Ifako Radio. Good morning. I am Nado Esther. The headlines: President Tinubu picks Disu for pre-2027 security boost. DIG to retire. U.S. Congress pushes Nigerians back to combat terror, religion persecution. Dangote, last Mammon officer, motorcyclist killed in Lagos crash. Resident decries soaring Lagos house rent, demand urgent control. Sports, I know names Ronaldo toughest career opponent. Entertainment, Simi addresses resurfaced tweets after rape advocacy. The news in full. President Tinubu picked Disu for pre-2027 security boost, DIGs to retire. The Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, on Tuesday resigned from office, paving the way for the appointment of the Assistant Inspector General of Police, Tunji Disu, as the new police boss ahead of the 2027 general elections. Disu, who was promoted to the rank of AIG in March 2025, is expected to take over from Egbetokun, who was appointed by the President on June 19, 2023. The IGs continue to stay in office sparked widespread controversy in 2024 after Egbetokun officially reached the mandatory retirement age of 60 on September 4. However, his stay in office was extended following the amendment of the Police Act. Speaking with one of the correspondents, the special advisor to the President on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, confirmed that Egbetokun resigned his appointment, citing family issues that require his undivided attention. He disclosed that the former IG submitted his resignation letter on Tuesday. The IG resigned on a letter today, citing family issues which required his undivided attention, he said. However, multiple presidency sources said that Egbetokun was asked to step down during a meeting with President Bola Tinubu at the presidential villa Abuja on Monday evening. The IG's official vehicle was sighted at the forecourt of the President Villa around 6:40 p.m. on Monday. He later returned to the State House at the forecourt of the Presidential House at about 8 p.m., where his vehicle was searched by operatives of the Department of the State Service. The President Tinubu accepted Egbetokun's resignation and appointed the IG Disu as acting Inspector General of Police with immediate effect ahead of the 2027 general elections. U.S. Congress pushes Nigerians back to combat terror, religion persecution. The United States Congress has called for a comprehensive bilateral agreement between Washington and Abuja aimed at protecting vulnerable Christian communities, dismantling jihadist terror network, and countering Chinese and Russian influence in Nigeria. The recommendations were contained in the joint position by a House Appropriation Committee and the House Foreign Affairs Committee shared on X by Congressman Willie Moore on Tuesday. In a statement titled Ending the Persecutions of Nigeria, Congress commended President Donald Trump for recognizing Nigeria as a country of decisive in holding perpetrators of violence accountable. In October 2025, the United States announced that Nigeria would again be added to the U.S. Department of State's list of countries of particular concern. Nigeria was first designated in 2020 under President Trump, but was removed from the list shortly after former President Joe Biden assumed office. In the post on X, President Trump stated that Nigeria will be placed on the religious freedom watch list, alleging that Christians were facing persecution and violence. Earlier in February, the U.S. Congress recommended visa bans and access freezes on individuals and groups accused of violation of religion freedom in Nigeria. Among those listed were former Kano Governor State Dr. Rabi Okwankwanso, the Miyati Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria, and Miyati Allah Kwata Hall. Commending President Trump's action, the committee stated, the United States Congress commends President Trump for a decisive action to recognize Nigeria as a country of particular concern, to hold perpetrators of violence to account, and compel the government of Nigeria to protect vulnerable communities and end religious persecution. The resident decries soaring Lagos house rent, demand urgent control. Residents across the parts of Lagos State have described the spiraling cost of house rent as suffocating, urging urgent legislative and executive intervention to prevent a deepening housing crisis. In a separate interview on Tuesday, many residents lamented that rent now consumes nearly half or more of their annual income, leaving the little room for saving or basic needs. A 2023 report on Nigeria housing market indicated that households spend between 50 and 70% of their income on rent, for above the globally recommended threshold of 30%, describing the development as symptomatic of structural dysfunction, not a temporary spike. A resident of Ogba, Razak Adebanjo, said the rising cost of accommodation has become unbearable. House rent in Lagos have become too expensive. Some landlords even state that the rent increase automatically after 3 years, and that's if you can find one you can conveniently pay for without it consuming your entire yearly income. It's really hard, he said. A camp member, Mercy, recounted her shock while searching for accommodation shortly after arriving in Lagos. When I came to Lagos, the first thing I needed was accommodation, but an agent asked for 1.5 million naira for a mini flat in Surulere. Not even on the island, I was as well shocked. Family seeks help over missing 20-year-old UTME applicant in Lagos. The family of a 20-year-old Abdul Basis Mohammed has appealed to the public for assistance in locating him after he went missing while attempting to register for the Joint Admission and Matriculation Board's Unified Tertiary and Matriculation Examination. Mohammed had last seen on Thursday, February 12, 2026, when he left his uncle's residence in Igede to complete his JAMB registration in the Ajangbadi area of Lagos. Speaking on behalf of the family, his uncle Taiwo Adeshino said he reported the case at the Ajangbadi Police Division on Friday, February 13, 2026, but had yet to receive any update. He left home around 8 a.m. for his jam capturing in Ajangbadi. I expected him back at night because he usually goes to work. Afterwards, I returned by 9 p.m. I waited from 9 p.m. till late, but he never returned. This has never happened before, so I immediately reported to the police. Before reporting, some people called demanding 40,000 naira for his release. I told them I only had 20,000 naira and sent it. Since then, their numbers have not been reachable. I informed the police about everything. He described Abdul Basid as quiet and reserved, noting that he rarely socialized. He was wearing a police sheet with a bag across his shoulder when he left home. I'm appealing to the public to help us find him. I can be reached on 090-373-16811, he said. Dangote, last man one officer motorcyclist killed in Lagos crash. The Dangote Group and the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority have expressed grief over the death of a last man officer and two motorcyclists who were killed in a road crash along the Badagry Expressway on Monday. The media reported that the accident occurred around 9 a.m. when the truck allegedly suffered brake failure while approaching a junction at high speed. The vehicle reportedly swerved off his lane and rammed into his victim. In a statement issued on Tuesday by last man's spokesman, Adebayo Taufik, the agency described the incident as heartbreaking and extended condolence to the family of the deceased. Taufik said preliminary investigation revealed that the truck, said to belong to the Dangote Group, lost control after experiencing brake failure before plowing into the action. The driver lost control of the vehicle, which then struck a LASMA officer who was diligently performing his traffic regulation duties, as well as a motorcyclist at a roundabout, he said. The truck continued on its course, fatally hitting another motorcyclist before coming to a halt about 200 meters from the initial points of impact. The driver fled the scene but was subsequently apprehended by other last mile personnel and handed over to the police. According to him, the victims were rushed to a hospital where they were confirmed dead. The last mile general manager, Olalekan Bakarioki, described the disease officer as a committed public servant who paid the ultimate price in the line of duty. Suspected cultists hacked to death by rivals in Oyo State. A suspected member of the area confraternity, identified simply as Okwe, has been reportedly hacked to death by rival cultists in Ojaibu area of Ibadan, Lagos State. The media gathered from an anti-cultism advocacy platform saying to Confront Nigeria on Tuesday that the incident occurred on Monday. According to the platform, the deceased was said to be a former member, number 4 member of the area group prior to his death. He was allegedly attacked by suspected members of the Aye confraternity, also known as the Neo-Black Movement, under circumstances that remained unclear as of time of filing this report. Yesterday, an area ATN cultist named Okwe was killed by INBN in Ojaibo, Ibadan, Oyo State. Okwe was said to be a former number 4 man in the area court. The exact reason for his killing is still unclear at this time. The platform added that the assailant fled the scene immediately after the attack. It further clarified that although there were initial claims suggesting the kill occurred in Lagos,